Peace, family. Welcome back to the channel. As we all know, probably by now, the majority of us at least, there's a lot of men that are lonely, sad, anxious, depressed, and the male loneliness epidemic is increasing every day. And honestly, guys, a lot of men are forced to be single, and it's not by choice. A lot of men want to be in relationships. A lot of men want a family. They want a woman. They want a wife. But the reality is, a lot of men are average, and a lot of men are just invisible to the majority of women. A lot of men truly are invisible, and that's the sad reality. So, guys, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and share this message so we can bring awareness to the male loneliness epidemic. I want to start by saying that a lot of men have pure hearts. There's a lot of men that have good hearts that are loving and that can be a provider to the best of his ability and to be a protector. You know, a lot of men want to be protectors. But unfortunately, especially with society being the way it is right now, inflation has made it hard so that a lot of men, they're not making the most money. That's just the reality. They might not be the most attractive men. A lot of men are average. A lot of men aren't tall. A lot of men, they just have a hard time approaching women. So with that being said, it's forcing them to be single. They want to be in a relationship. They're in the inside, they're loving the fact and the idea. They might even imagine being with a woman someday, and they truly have that desire. But most women are just looking past that because this guy, maybe he's that one person that he's maybe a 35-year-old virgin, which is happening now. Don't laugh, because it is happening, bro. There's a lot of men that might be 30 to 40-year-old virgin. A lot of men haven't had sex in the last year, so a lot of men aren't really getting it like you might think. A lot of men are truly invisible. So that guy, maybe he hasn't had any experience with women at all, and he doesn't know how to approach women because he has social anxiety, and because the society hasn't allowed him to be masculine. He hasn't accepted who he really is and his masculine identity. So he doesn't know how to talk to women at all. And you have to learn game as a man, because if you don't, these women will take advantage of you. But these guys that I'm talking about, they're not even at that point, man. They're just struggling to get out of their own head and getting out of this matrix. So this is a byproduct of them being forced to be single. Now, that's one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum is a lot of men are lonely because they have accepted a female nature and the true totality of it. They might have took the RP, and they might see that a lot of women, especially in today's society, are delusional, they're narcissistic, they only want to play games, they only want to do what benefits them. They don't truly want to even raise family nowadays. And they're more masculine than the majority of these men. So they don't have any feminine identity at all. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to be nurturing. They don't want to be caring. So these men have accepted the reality of, all right, these women are independent. These women don't want to be with me because they might not be. Let's just say they are, because there's a lot of attractive men, big pause. There's a lot of attractive men that accepted female nature, and they're not forced to be single, but they've accepted the reality that, look, I have maybe one or two women that I could be with, but these women are playing games. These women don't want to settle down. These women want to be dots. They want to run around and just be hoes. So that has in turn that forced them to be single, because they don't have any other option, because there's not too many women that are operating in feminine energy, man. And that's just the reality. A lot of women will comment on these videos and say, well, we're forced to accept men that are feminine, and we're forced to accept this reality, which is true. But a lot of you women won't settle for that average guy. And that's why this average guy, he's just, he's invisible to you. You don't even see him. You might not see that Starbucks worker, that Walgreens guy, or that guy that works at Target that, bags groceries. Maybe he's 5'6". He's not handsome. You're not attracted by him. you're not even seeing him at all. You're seeing the guy that's 6'5", 6'7", that makes 150 to 200,000, that drives a nice car, that might be the best in shape guy with the best body. Pause. And those are the guys that the majority of women see. And he might have learned how to run game. He knows how to talk to you. He knows how to approach you. He knows what to say to turn you on. These guys aren't that way. And it's sad, man, because men I know I've talked to on a daily basis, there's a lot of men that they want a family. They're like, man, I would love to raise a family. They're going to work. They might even have a little bit of money saved up in the bank because it's just them living solo. And they can support a family, maybe not to the level that a lot of these women want. A lot of these women, bro, they want houses that are $300,000, $400,000 with a nice Audi or a nice Mercedes or, you know, a $70,000 truck or something like that. And on top of that, they don't want to work. You know, it's just reality. This is the truth. A lot of men will still need women to work in this society. Inflation is really high. Most men won't be able to provide for a family on one income. So a lot of these women, if these guys say, yeah, you know, this is where I'm working at, and she knows that off, like in the beginning, she might not want to talk to you. She might not want to be with you because she knows, man, this guy can't support me on his salary. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. A lot of these women are delusional. By the time they wake up, they're in their 30s or 40s. And most of these men, they want to have families, so they don't want to be with a woman that's 40 years old because she can't have any children. You know what I mean? So this is a huge epidemic that's happening right now. A lot of men are lonely, and a lot of men are forced to be single. A lot of more men are forced to be sexless, and a lot of men are giving up. A lot of men want to quit because they used to wake up, have a family, go to work, come home, eat dinner with their family, maybe play outside with them, or, you know, go to their sporting events, basketball games, football games, soccer games. And then, you know, she would, at the end of the day, if she was feeling him, he was looking good that day, she would give it up to him and he would get it in. But now men, they're not waking up with any true thoughts that, all right, today, if I do a good job, I'm going to be able to get some sex. A lot of these men are just, they're not, those aren't the thoughts. They're like, all right, I'm just going to have to go on the hub and run one out because this is my only option that I have, just playing with myself all day. And that's the sad reality that most men are dealing with, and most men are struggling, and most men are just sad, man. They really are. And being lonely can really consume you. Being lonely can really break your heart, make you cold-hearted, which is where we're at right now in today's society, where men don't want to date. Women are, for the majority of women, not most, but the majority of women, you know, so I would say like 70% of women, they have the options that they want, you know, so it is what it is, you know. The majority of women have the ability to get a man, whether or not he's the best man, she still has the option to pick a man. A lot of men don't even have an option to pick a woman. They would pick any woman because they just want a woman. They don't care if she'll be obese. They don't care if she's ugly. They don't care what she looks like. They just want to get in. They just want a female, you know what I mean? They just want a feminine energy. But they're not having that ability, which is why they're forced to be single. And it is happening more and more. Don't sleep on this. It is happening more and more. If you're a guy, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear some of your stories and how long you've been single. If you plan on being single the rest of your life, which is happening, a lot of men are just planning and choosing to be single. They just accepted that reality. And, you know, I'm a believer that men can change, that men can do better with their life, men can self-improve, and they can find a woman. But like I said, I think it might be a reality that a lot of men, especially now, I'm seeing it more and more where women don't want to budge. They don't want to change at all. So men might just have to accept the reality that they are going to be single the rest of their life. And, you know, I am a big believer that men and women benefit from each other, but the majority of men they're having a hard time, man. And that's why I'm speaking on these issues. That's why I'm doing my best here at Men Are Needed to try to uplift us as men and teach you the things that I know and teach you that you are valuable, that you have some power within you, man, that you can gain your masculinity back and you can do the best that you can. You know, I know that you might be forced to be single and you're desiring women, just a woman to touch you, you know. And it's difficult, man. Trust me, I know when you're alone, you have these dark thoughts, you have no motivation, you have no drive, and nothing can cure that. Nothing, you like take all these, you might take alcohol, you might take drugs, you might take the prescribed drugs that the doctors are getting, and that's not helping you. Nothing's really helping you. You just feel like you're a zombie walking around. And if you're watching this video, man, I feel for you. I'm here for you, bro. Leave a comment down below. I will tap in with you. And I'm doing the best that I can to try to speak on this and just bring awareness and just get this message out that women need to start understanding that men are hurting. And even if they don't understand, I know that there will be some men that will try to uplift you, bro, because there's a lot of men that can relate to you. You're not alone. You're not alone on this journey, man. Trust me. There is more and more men that are single, that are hurting, that are sad, that are depressed, that are anxious, that want to run to the bottles, that don't want to live no more, and they don't want to be here no more. But I know that God loves you, bro. I know that if you're still here, you're still here for a purpose, and you can do what you can do in a moment, man. Sometimes that's you have to just live like that, bro. You know, I'm taking it day by day. I'm living every moment by moment, and I'm doing the best that I can. Yeah, you might be single. Yeah, that might hurt you, but you're still breathing, man, and you're still living. And I know that might not be what you want to hear, but honestly, man, there's only so many things that you can do to try to self-improve. And at that point, if a woman doesn't want you, that's her loss, bro. You know, I know that might sound cliche, but it is. If you're a good man and you have good intentions and you have a pure heart, she will go out there and get her heart broken by that Chad, by that Tyrone, by that good-looking guy that wants to sleep with multiple women. And then she might want to come back to you. And by then, if that's your choice, if you want to be with her, you know, which happens a lot of times, these women will have 3 or 4 kids. They'll be divorced, and then they'll see a guy like you and be like, man, I should have got with him. But by then, it's your call, man, if you want to accept that. You know, I'm not here judging you because you're in your own experience. You're in your own journey. If that's what you need, if that's what you need to feel good, go for it, man. You know, I'm not like extremely far on this. A lot of these red pill contents will tell you, no, just bypass that. Don't get with any woman. But, bro, if you don't have any options, you don't have any options. If you want to be with a woman and you want to feel what it's like to be with a woman and she's the only woman that you know will be with you for now, go for it, Brandon. Just go for it, man. Life's short, man. Do what makes you happy in the moment if it's positive without being like drugs and alcohol on the hub and like degenerate things like that. Do positive things that make you happy. If she makes you happy, even though she has 2 or 3 kids, bro, so be it, man. You know, hopefully you will find happiness and you will find peace and you will find that woman. Thanks for watching this video. Peace.